What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, your mom's Toxic Gamer 331. Back at it with another video. And today we are doing yet another Toxic tier list ranking. Ooh, yeah. Today we are going to be doing a tier list ranking of all the SummerSlam 2023 matches in a video instead of me doing an individual SummerSlam review, so it's easier. But before we get to actual tier list ranking itself, guys, if you're new to the channel and missed the previous tier lists I've done and previous pay-per-view reviews I've done, they are both on playlist on my YouTube channel, so be sure to check that one out. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, we're on the road to 300 subscribers, just 19 away now. Really, how about you, buddy, if you did subscribe? That's because for people that have been watching my channel for a while and haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to like the video if you do like my Toxic tier list rankings. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications and notification when I upload. Also, do share the video so we can have some more people join the Toxic fam. And do feel free to comment your thoughts on SummerSlam 2023 down below. Sorry, guys, just had to take a quick drink of water because I gotta talk a lot, so yeah, but as always, these are going, not as always, but these are the categories for the, tier list. So, first one here is great, which I thought it was great. I don't have best of the best because even though some matches on the show I thought were great, they had some flaws with them, and I'll talk about that more later, because, like, some minor flaws, not, like, big ones, just minor. Solid is a solid contest, but I was kind of hoping for more. Toxic goodness is, like, guilty pleasure. I know most people probably hated the match, but, I liked it. Okay means okay showing, and then, toxic trash is dumpster fire. Horrible match. And you guys are probably wondering, why are there two Gunther versus Drew McIntyres? I do not know. I did not create this tier list. But, we're going to pretend that one of them is Asuka versus Charlotte versus Bianca. So, we're going to judge one of these as Asuka versus Charlotte Flair versus Bianca for the Women's Championship. So, for the first match that happened of the night, we had Ricochet go up against Logan Paul. And I didn't think this match was, a disappointment, but I think it is solid. I don't think it's great. I think it is another solid contest from Logan Paul, and I just wish they did some more stuff in the match. I feel like it ended a little bit shorter, but otherwise a solid contest between Logan Paul and Ricochet. They had some pretty cool moments, like when they did a Spanish Fly on the outside and both of them landed on their feet and then they punched the crap out of each other. That was pretty cool. Also, I thought there were some other cool spots too. For example, Logan Paul doing a springboard frog splash. I know it's not that cool, but I thought it was pretty cool. And I thought it was another great outing, a solid outing for Logan Paul. And he continues to have great matches. Now moving on to the Slim Jim sponsored SummerSlam Battle Royal. And I don't know why they have to sponsor every single match now they do on a pay-per-view, at least. Like, they always have to do that for the big pay-per-views. They did it this year for WrestleMania 2. For example, they had like a Cinnamon Crunch match with Bray and Dominic. Then they also had a Turbo Tax Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. I don't know. It's just, and this is just a match to get all the other wrestlers on the card. So for that reason, I'm going to put Toxic Goodness. It was a lot funner than I was expecting it to be. Most people got their own moments to shine, especially Chad Gable. And Chad Gable had a really great showing in this match. Also, LA Knight finally won. Yeah! So that's cool. And finally won a match at a big event, and that was cool to see. Also, AJ Styles and continuing some other feuds like AJ Styles and Karrion Kross. I'm mixed about how they're continuing that, but that's okay though. And and then also them building up the Santos Escobar and Austin Theory match. So for that reason, it's going to go into toxic goodness. You know, it's kind of stupid, but it is consumable, and it is fun. Next up, we have Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar, and I'm going to put this... it's one of these two. Okay, I'm going to put it in solid because everyone's probably going to point this out in the match. There was a spot in the match where Cody hit Brock with steel steps, and for some reason, the ref didn't ring the bell, and the match continued, so apparently it was a no DQ match. So that's the only flaw of this match I can really think of, so, and it's a big flaw, so for that reason, it goes in solid, because, I thought, otherwise, they were having a pretty great match. I thought it was definitely better than their, Backlash match. I didn't watch their Night of Champions match because I was busy hanging out with some friends that day. I watched some of the matches, but they had a solid contest, and I thought it was cool that Brock and Cody did shake hands at the end of the match. And I was calling it too because I knew they were going to turn Brock back into babyface. So for that reason, the match goes into solid. Then we got Shayna versus Ronda Rousey, and I'm going to put this in toxic trash. For me, this was the only bad match on the show. I think if I were to give my opinion out, probably this would be the only bad match on the show. They had an MMA rules match, and it's basically knockout or submission. That's how you win. And the build-up for this match was decent. I don't think it was the best, but they had decent build-up. And, but it's just, as soon as their entrances were going, I was going, okay, is there going to be a cage? Because these two, realistically, should have done a fight pit match, which you guys have seen, like Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins faced each other, Timothy Thatcher and Matt Riddle, and Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. They should have done that, because that fits the MMA kind of sort of background, you know? And they didn't do this, and it was just a bad match, and it was sad. But at least it looks as if Shayna Baszler is getting a good push, not big push, but getting somewhat of a push now. Alright, next up we have Gunther versus Drew McIntyre, and I'm going to put this in the solid tier. Same sort of thing with Ricochet and Logan Paul. I do feel as if they should have done more. But they had another solid contest in Gunther's title reign. And also I loved when they were chopping each other. Those got louder and louder and louder, and they were just having an all-out slugfest. Was it as great as Sheamus versus Gunther? No. Was it great as Sheamus versus Drew versus Gunther? No. It was good. It was a solid contest, and definitely I'm excited for Gunther to have the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship reign of all time. And I didn't think Drew McIntyre I was 50-50 on Drew McIntyre was the right person to beat him. But anyways, I'll put Gunther and Drew at the top, because, yeah, I thought it was a very good contest. And then I'll put Brock, I'll keep it that way. Then we got Seth versus Finn, and for me, this is the only great match on the show. I thought this was a phenomenal match, and Seth and Finn always have good matches. Even though Money in the Bank was a little underwhelming, it was still a solid contest between both of them. And they did they shocked me with a lot of their kickouts. For example, Finn kicks out of the stomp. I didn't expect that to happen. And also, Seth kicking out of the coup de grace was going, yeah, he might kick out. So it was a very great contest with some minor flaws with the interference of the Judgment Day and kind of splitting them up for some reason, or it's looking that way. But otherwise, a great match between those two athletes right there. Okay, so then next up we have, I know it says Gunther versus Drew McIntyre right here. I didn't create this tier list. It is Asuka versus Charlotte versus Bianca Belair, and also Io cashing in. We'll talk about that too. And I'll put this in okay. I know most people would probably put that in the toxic trash category. This match had its moments, but it had a lot of botches. And I don't think it was any of those three women's best matches of their career. But it had some good moments, and then it had some bad moments. So for some of the good moments, Bianca acting like she was actually hurt when she went to the outside. Ooh, yeah, that looked oof. I was nervous for a second, but luckily she ended up being fine anyways and super powering through. And Asuka's title reign was not that great. They should have done better with her title reign. Unfortunately, she's just never gonna have like a great title run as she did in NXT. Charlotte was for me, she was kind of the third wheel in this match, and there was a bunch of times where I thought she was gonna win. Luckily, she did not. Who would have been mad? And then, Bianca Belair ended up picking up the victory and, rolling up Asuka. I would have liked her to win off a KOD and beat Asuka instead of a roll-up, but it is what it is. Then the match ends, and then the ding, ding, ding. I'm trying to do the Io Skyline song. Io comes out and cashes her Money into the Bank successfully and wins the championship, which she deserves, and that was a cool moment. I wish her briefcase stint could have got dragged out a little bit longer, but at least it didn't get cashed in on the same night of Money in the Bank, so I'm happy for Io. And I was hoping Priest would rather cash in than Io, but otherwise, solid, great cash in from Io. Then we have the main event, and I'm going to put this in solid as well. This match definitely had its moments where you thought Jay was definitely going to win. There was some cool spots. For example, Roman Reigns getting Samoan dropped through the table on the outside I thought was really cool. What other stuff can I think of that was really cool? Roman... Well, I'm trying to think of any other stuff. I gotta think, because I don't know how to explain this. I don't know why they needed to call it Tribal Combat. They could have just done Extreme Rules match, but whatever, I get it, because Tribe, whatever. And now let's move on to some of the negatives of the match, shall we? This is kind of a minor negative, because I'm getting used to it now. Roman always having Solo interfere, or some of the Bloodline interfere in his matches. It didn't bug me as much as Cody, but I was predicting it anyways. What other cool things here? And then the mixed aspect is when Jay hits the Uso Splash, after hitting the spear, 1, 2, then he gets dragged out by Jimmy. And that was pretty shocking, but it does, I had a feeling as soon as he got dragged out and it was a guy in a hoodie, and I was going like, why would it... It's probably going to be Jimmy, but why? And I was right, but why? Why would Jimmy turn on Jay? That makes literally no sense whatsoever. And they're just doing it to further draw out the Bloodline story. And I don't know why they would make Jimmy turn on Jay. It doesn't make sense. For example, it doesn't make sense. Solo and Roman have been punishing Jimmy the whole entire last year or whatever, and it makes no sense. So, for that reason, I think it was a solid match. Not any of Roman's best title defenses, but it still goes into the solid category for me. But with that being said, guys, that is my toxic tier list ranking. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, we're on the road to 300 subscribers, just 19 away now. Really help out your boy if you did subscribe. That also goes for people that have been watching my channel for a while and haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to like the video if you do like my toxic tier list rankings. Don't forget to ring the bell for all notifications so notification will upload. Also do share the video so we can have some more people join the Toxic Fam. And do feel free to comment what you thought of SummerSlam 2023 down below. But with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one, everybody. Peace. Bye.